Hello, this is a video on how I ended up having a YouTube channel called something as obscure as usyndic, which is actually a word I've completely made up and, to my knowledge, no one else has used at all yet. So it's a follow-on video from my previous one, linked below, on my frustrations about the language for dyslexia, and particularly how in certain conversations where I wanted to refer to dyslexia in two different senses, both in terms of a narrow disability of reading and writing, and in terms of its far broader sense in which it's often used now, of an entire kind of brain pattern and thought process that goes with that, or neurotype. And this conversation sometimes just becoming very confusing, with people not understanding the difference, or when they do, not understanding which I'm referring to at which point. So I decided one of these two usages needed a new word for it, and that the one that needed a new word was the neurotype, because, well, the literal meaning of dyslexia is difficulty with language, and it seems not technically wrong but kind of misleading to label an entire neurotype by its weakness only. It's insulting and also kind of just giving the wrong impression, in much the same way as calling someone who is left-handed clumsily right-handed. Like, it's true that they are clumsy with their right hand, but it's kind of insulting to just show the weakness when they have an equal strength on the other side. Although sometimes that weakness does need acknowledging, such as when you're handing them a particular type of right-handed power tool. But it's clearly not showing the whole picture to only refer to that. So, having decided it needed a new word, I just looked at the lexicology, I'm not quite sure I'm saying that correctly, of dyslexia, and made usyndic out of that. So U is basically the opposite of dys, with dys meaning difficulty, U meaning kind of easy or at ease with, and instead of lexia, so language, I've put it in usyndic, which is in the same, I've forgotten what the origin was, like old Greek or something. Anyway, in the same old language, that means connection. So you've got, on the one hand, difficulty of language, and on the other hand, ease with connections. So why I chose connections particularly is it's a fairly broad concept, so it's not narrowing down too precisely exactly what the strengths of this neurotype is, but at the same time most people with this neurotype would agree that, or who've worked with people with it, agree that they tend to be particularly good at kind of spotting the interconnections between ideas and concepts. And also, according to some research, there's a link below if I can find, it may be very literally true that their different bits of their brain are more interconnected than the neurotypical person's. Yeah, so that's how I arrived at usyndic, and because if I follow exactly the same lexicology, it's a nightmare to spell, and dyslexics have enough issue trying to spell dyslexia, I've then abbreviated it to usyndic as you see it now, to be a lot easier to spell. Yeah, that's how I arrived at the name, and as soon as I even considered starting any kind of company to sell my various products, I knew straight away that this was something I wanted right at the centre of it, this concept of making the most of the strengths of this dyslexic, or as I now think of it, usyndic brain type, and also as easy connections. That's a useful thing in any company, so good bit of corporate jargon in that sense, and it also describes the products I'm selling if you know the meaning behind it, because a lot of my products are about mind mapping and therefore fairly literally about making the connections between related concepts. Hope this has been clear, and so I haven't just gone with a completely obvious name, as some but not all of the advice I was getting at the beginning suggested. Thank you.